Greetings, I'm the Brainworth Hunter. How's everyone doing today? Good, I hope. Today we continue with Pokemon quiz. Yeah. I remembered how the save function works. Well, after I figured out you could save last time. So yeah. So as I mentioned last time, so the time won't be accurate because that entire first session's time. I didn't know you could save that first session. The first stream of this. So the rest of it is basically done. So then I just type them all in. Alright, so let's get on with them. Bom, 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 bom. Here we go. Right, now basically immediately after last stream I remembered. And that was Electabuzz. Buzz. Aesthetic. I think it is the best aesthetic out of that group. I think I'd call it a 5. It's fine. Battle, it's 5. Just because it's got an evolution which I'd rather use. Or 5. I mean, it's standard. An opinion on it, it's probably a 6 actually. And what else? Any of the evolution lines I'm not done. We got evolution lines out of my head now. Is oh, Jellison, what's it called? Ish. Jellish. Frillish. Bum 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 bum. I do like. I think it looks better than Jellison. I call it like a 4. It's fine, but it's not. Battle. Ghost type's the only thing he's got going for it, in my opinion. Low 4. It's just. Opinion on it is 3 as well. I don't like them because they're the most annoying water Pokemon in any game ever. The loser is the only water Pokemon that was more annoying. But Anova, when you're in the water and you keep on bumping into Jellison, Relish. Alright, more Pokemon. We got some dogs in last time. Oh, to get into the Aldean. Quite a few of them. Right. Let's think. Maschief. Maschief. Right. It's ugly. Pathetic. 2. 2. Battle. 2. I'm not using battle. I might be harsh than I was 2 weeks ago, but and law. 3. It's just a dog. It's a mean dog. That's it. Opinion on it is probably a 2. Aberstiff. Hard to say, and not say something else. Pathetic. I'd say it's a 4. It's an old dog. Got a bit of a kind of like gangster aesthetic in there, kind of, but battle 4. I'm not going to use it in battle. Look, just lore-wise, I think it's a 7 because of the story. My opinion on it's probably 5. I'm neutral on it. Okay. And then there is... My head always goes to... Just call it bread dog. It's not called that. Fido. Fido. Aesthetic. 4. Oh man, I'll look at a picture of Fido for the official art and see. My screen is being shared also with minions, so minion can tell I'm not cheating. 5. I give it a 5. Yeah. If it wasn't for the bun shapes on its ears, I think it'd be a 4, but you give it a 5. Battle is fairy type, so actually it's got some advantage, so maybe actually 4. I think from what I remember, it was a decent fairy type. And then bun, isn't it? It's Darkspawn. I know I need to do the opinion on them as well. Alright. Lore-wise, 5. I quite like both of them are 5. I like how it's like bread and dogs and there's that kind of stuff. It's a bit weird when you think about it with the some of the extended stuff, but you know what? It's not just a builder clown. You know, this is something more to it than just what if we take, you know, a small mammal and we just make it electric and punchy? It's like there's something more to it. Aesthetic of Darkspawn. I like Darkspawn's look. I'd say Darkspawn's 6. Remember, it's not got higher. It's a dog. it's a dog. It's a bread dog. And the bread part of that isn't what's making it limited. It's the dog part. Battle. I'd say 6. I remember, if I remember rightly, like the fairy type was kind of handy with it. Got a decent ability, so it doesn't seem to be them fire. Like it just needs defense get higher if it's hit with a fire move or something. Baking. Oh, you find immunity? Okay, awesome. Opinion on them? 5, 6. I'm neutral on Fido, Darkspawn. Bom 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 bada bom bada bom bom. Bum bum. Haldane. Oh, let's do the Applin line then. Applin. Aesthetic 8. Battle wise, Applin note 2. And then lore, I'd say it's a 7. Okay. Opinion 8. Love it. Flapple. I mean, it suffers. Its aesthetic does suffer here. Applin, what? 8. Flapple, I say it's about 6. It's fine, but I don't like its face as much. Battle wise though, I mean it's about a 7. But it's a 6. Lore wise 7 still. I really like how it's with the apple and the evolution. It's quite a unique thing method. It works quite well. Opinion on it's a 6. Appleton. I don't like its back. Can't decide where it goes. There's not a clear line. It's like what is a pie and what's Dragon Pokemon. Aesthetic 4. I like how it's got the apple as the helmet, but that I'm not a fan of most of it, how it looks, to be honest. Battle 5 is fine, but I prefer Appleton. No, yeah, Flapple in battle. Lore-wise 7. Opinion on it is 4. I understand what they're going for, but it's just not for me. And then there's the G-Max one. People argue it's the different Pokemon, but if one move changes, that's just a variation. It's the same Pokemon, and it's lazy, and I don't like that. I'm half convinced, basically, they just had Flapple, and then they're like, hang on, and they forgot Appleton existed until like the last minute. Yeah, otherwise known as the same Pokemon. Yeah, but it's the same way that, you know, companies will bag something and say, oh, it's different. It's like chemically 99% the same. One thing's slightly different. There's different stats on different, you know. If you buy a can of your favourite beverage, if you get a part, it might be different stats on the back of it. But it's still the same drink, really. It's these people that go like, oh, I prefer, you know, Coca-Cola from 20 years ago that tasted better than it does today. The recipe changed, but it's still just Coca-Cola. It's still gonna rot your teeth. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Well, no, because actually something different there, whereas there's some kind of change. You can stop looking at that, whereas it's not just going like, no, it's... What happened, as I said, is that they forgot Appleton existed, and they went, oh no, we have to give Appleton one as well. Just reuse Flapples. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Because they forgot they'd made Appleton. So what happened is that they went, oh crap, we did give it Appleton as well. We forgot Appleton existed. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. I'd say if you show them to people, can you tell actually the difference between them visually? If you take two images, put next to each other, and randomise which one's which, you can't tell. Not even similar. They're visually exactly the same. Yeah, but you can argue that between two Pokemon same type, exact same Pokemon. Two Zorro have different stats because of nature and stuff like that. So they're different base stats. But so can that. If I give one you know, Carbos and I give one Zinc, they've got different base stats as well. Same Pokemon, they're both crap. The G-Max one. Aesthetic, it's not as bad as Appleton. I'll give it a 5. Battle, I don't want to use it because I don't. Battle 6, both of them. Just because I think knowledge facts that they have better stats when G-maxed in terms of health, and they take more hits, therefore, you know, tankier. Everyone loves a tankier Pokemon. Lore-wise, 6. No, give it a 1. 1. Because no effort was taken. The same fucking Pokemon. 1, both lore for the G-Maxes. Opinion, 1. It is objective. No effort was taken. So, see what lore is about how well they fit into the world and how well they work. And every other Pokemon has their own G-Max form, apart from basic. You know, even Urshifu has different colours. They could at least done something, and they don't. So therefore, Is there actually a difference with how they look, though? Are you saying that Apple Caramel justifies them looking exactly the same, world building wise? Alright, fine then. If you're arguing this way objectively. Alright, Flapple gets 8 lore wise. Appleton still gets 0 or 1 because you should copy in the other one. How it fits. So there you go. Because lore wise, it doesn't fit in because every other Gmax is different, including Urshifu, which is different forms. So 2 Pokemon, which, yeah, they've evolved from the same Pokemon. But they're different. Urshifu both evolved from Kubfu, but the different forms of different Gmax. Yeah, the Gmax form did of Appleton. It Appleton's thought put into it. Anyway, let's move on. Diplin. Aesthetic. 9. It's I think Diplin might be the best Objectmon. And it is an Objectmon, because if you say that Vanillux is an Objectmon, I'll get to that. If I've not already done it. Then Diplin has to be. But, you know, it improves on Applin's design. I wasn't crazy when I first saw the stalk, but it works as, you know, the stick of you know, a caramelized apple or a candy apple, you know, but also works as the stalk of an apple. But yeah, 9. Battle, I mean, 5. Lore-wise, 8. Opinion, 8. Hydrapple. Aesthetic. I need to see a good picture of it. It's a 9. It's not quite a 10. Not quite a 10. It's almost there. But I don't like how unbalanced the apples on its horns are, the main one's horns are. If there was 2 of them or none of them, it'd be a 10. But that one little niggle, I understand why it's there, so it reminds me of apple, but it's already in an apple, so I don't need to worry about that, you know? Yeah, I like asymmetry, but in that case, that asymmetry doesn't work for me. Like, they could have, you know, I mean, if one being shorter or longer, that'd be fine, but just put the apple stuck on one of them just doesn't work for me. Okay. Yep, it's already inside an apple, which is crumbled away. So the whole point is that that is the shell of the same apple. So therefore, the new apple that's there. Yeah, but no, you get the shape from the with Diplin. Yeah, but the shape, and what I like is the shape, and it's kind of that kind of rotted away or has kind of been eaten up by them or in the space. So it's the look of it and that, and also it's not quite the same shape as the one from earlier. So it's not actually the same apple. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I know. In which case, you could have at least something else on the other one. But the fact there's nothing on the other one. Like, I don't mind there being an apple on one of them, but then at least put, I don't know, like a seed or a leaf on the other one. One just looks too plain. I don't mind asymmetry, but one of them is too plain. Yeah, but you could at least have a leaf or something on the other one. It's like just that thing where it's just slightly annoys me. Still, I give it a 9. I'm not saying it's bad design. I'm saying it's a little niggle. Stop it from being perfect. Battle-wise, 9. The only reason why I didn't use one earlier is because I couldn't, because you can't don't get access to that move apart from by TM. Once I can't wait for the next Pokemon game, because it has to have Hydro Apple, and it has to learn that move naturally, the dragon, basically better dragon dance. I'm just saying things now to wind up minions. I wonder if it actually does boost the stream's ratings when people are chatting. Anyway, yeah, the only reason why I didn't have one earlier is because it's harder. Because you couldn't. But I hope in that Pokemon game you can get it by level up, so you can actually get one. A lot easier. Alright. Lore. Lore-wise, it's a 9. Opinion, it's a 9. It's not quite a 10. The only reason why I think it's not a 10 is because I couldn't get one earlier. If I got it earlier or evolved it naturally, I would have enjoyed it more. But I didn't spend as much time with it because I only got it in in the Blueberry Academy stuff, which is that far in. Really, you've done most things in the game unless you're playing back through. But if we ever do if I ever do that challenge bingo in Pokemon, that's one I want on my team. I'm gonna try and rush the Blueberry Academy stuff to get it. Or cheat. Okay. Okay, what's next? Alright, which dragons have we done? Those two done. You know what, let's go through Pseudo Legendaries. Why not? Dratini. Aesthetic 6. It's cute. Battle-wise, probably like a 2. There's the extreme speed one you get in the Johto games, but they're still not that useful in battle most of the time. It's just rap. And occasionally Twister, but the thing with Pseudo Legendaries is you don't want to use them in battle until they evolve most of them. There's a reason why people don't run the second, the first stage evolution with the EVO Light as much. As with all the Pokemon, they might run EVO Light, but I don't really see that with Pseudo Legendaries. Lore-wise, I mean, it comes first, but it's kind of just basic, isn't it? Not a massive critique, but it's just lore-wise 6. I mean, it's the first Pseudo Legendary, but there's not that much tying into the games. There's the Safari Zone, which makes it kind of cool, but there's not as much. Most of that lore-wise comes from the Gen 2 games. Otherwise, it'd probably actually be a 4 or a 3 because it's just there. Opinion on it? I quite like it. 7. Dragonair. Aesthetic. I think it improves on the aesthetic, to be honest. 7. Battle. 5, to be fair. I think you can use it in battle. In Lansted. Lore-wise, 6. Opinion, 8. I like it more than... Now, Dragonite. I will just say, there's a reason why when people do a Dratini for their region, they always end up doing a version of Dragonite which fits more with Dragonair. Because it does just kind of come a bit out of nowhere in the line. It goes from kind of a more Eastern Dragon to being a Western Dragon. It's not to say I don't like it, but it's just, I think especially since with how many Western dragons we've got in Pokemon. Aesthetic, it's 5. It's just a silly big dragon, which is placed far, but compared to the rest of the evolution line, I think it's a missed opportunity. I did like it when it had the ridge down its back. I thought that was kind of cool at least, but it doesn't have that anymore. I mean, I think the others also might have done it in Gen 1 and 2. I can't remember. Okay, then battle. 8. Solid in battle. What's the thingy? Is it scale armor? The ability to usually give it? I think I messed around with that. Yeah, multi-scale, then yeah. I can't really name his abilities, I just put them on and use them. Lore-wise, it's a 7. I just wish it had that, you know, aesthetic. Alright, now Larvitar. Aesthetic 7. I wish, like in some ways, Larvitar got a bit more of an update in the same way some Gen 1 Pokemon did. I think it's the saddest thing about Gen 2 Pokemon. Well, as Gen 1 Pokemon, in Gen 2 and then in Gen 3, were updated just to round out some of the rough edges of them. I think Larvitar is one of those Pokemon that could have benefited from having that, just a few things slightly tweaked. Like, it is a really good design, but I think there's just a few little things on it. Yeah, exactly. But it's that weird mix of like kind of like a bit like a Gen 3, but a bit like a Gen 2. So, I mean, if you look at the kind of shape they give its head a lot of the time, like they try and give it more of Tyrantar's head shape and stuff, it works as well. I think that's the thing. I think its head shape, if its head shape was defined a bit more. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. I think that's the thing. I think there's some aspects which are, I think the fact is the bottom half, there's a lot of design there, and the top half, it's just got a big pointy stick out of its head, and it's got kind of marks on its eyes, and that's about it. I think you just need either something else on top of it, half of its design, or something lower, touch simpler, and that's it. But it's still adorable, and you've got to, you know, you do want to pick one up and carry it around everywhere, which would, to be fair, be a great workout due to how much they weigh. Alright. Battle-wise, I mean, I don't want to use one in battle because I think it'll get hurt, and I don't want to hurt it. Horrible. But it's in fact probably like a 2. Is it 3? I mean, does it have Sandstorm when it's if it's Sandstorm, it's a 3. I think it's got Sand Veil, but I can't know if it's got Sandstorm itself. Or is Sandstorm its hidden? Yeah, but you can get Sand Veil. Sandstorm though. Yeah. We can learn sometimes it's got Sand Veil. There it's a 3. Even it's not a 4 because its stats don't hold up to that. But lore wise, 7. The reason why is because even though there's not much in the games for Larvitar, it's kind of a bit forgotten compared to some other Zoo legendaries. In terms of there's not really a place for them in this Mount Silver. I really like the Pokédex entry, which kind of details how they grow and evolve and stuff, and they basically start and eat dirt, and this is Pupitar, and then level mountains. But isn't it that Pupitar has, or is it Larvitar or Pupitar has to basically consume a mount, has to basically destroy an entire mountain to turn into Tyranitar? Which is just cool. Okay. Opinion on it, 8. I really like it. But up Pupitar. Also, I think the really thing with is Larvitar is that the colour of Larvitar has never looked as good as it did in the Gen 2 art. Like, the Gen 2 games, it looks ugly as sin, the colour of it. Like, it should looks radioactive, which I understand what they're going for, but isn't quite yet. But the like, not every Gen 2 Pokemon, the watercolour, I think some of them, the watercolour doesn't quite work with, but just Larvitar in particular, that colour is just so good, and it should not looked as good since. Alright, Pupitar. Pupitar. Aesthetic. I mean, it's a downgrading aesthetic because there's trouble if it being, it's in a cocoon. It's kind of just weird, isn't it? Really think about it, it's like going like, it's a giant like monster rock lizard and it just goes into cocoon. I'd say it's about becomes like a 5. Most cocoon Pokemon, I don't know what I've ranked them like Metapod and stuff at, but look, cocoons tend to be a bit boring, to be honest. But I mean, Pupitar, it's fine, but it just feels like we need something, so we'll just do a spiky cocoon. Battle wise, 3. I just wouldn't use it, just because it feels like it's slow and immobile and stuff, and I feel like it's only hardened, even though Law 7, I like it moves around in jets of air, compressed air, and I want to see a Tyranitar. I wonder if Tyranitar has access to that as well, the kind of jets of air trick. The Tyranitar that can just use RCS thrusters to readjust in the air would be awesome. So better harden. Opinion 7. Tyranitar. Okay. I will say, I'm surprised Dragonite didn't get a Mega or Gigantamax. Okay. Tyranitar. Okay, aesthetic. Is it as good as Larvitar's aesthetic? That's the question. Is it a 7 or an 8? I just looked down and saw Linu Zigzagoon Galarian farm. I realised, yeah, it has to be an 8 Tyranitar because it's so Tyranitar is an 8 visually. I just feel it's just got Gen 2-itis, whereas I feel like, once again, same with Larvitar, it's very good, and most Gen 2 designs are better than most Gen 1 designs. But Gen 1 designs then have the advantage of then it comes in with Gen 3, and they go, let's retouch them up a bit and change some proportions and stuff and make him just a bit. I know they do some models in games, but the official art generally, like in Gen 2, just doesn't have as much love. I think Gen 2 is just a bit neglected because it comes second. Even though really Gen 2 is like a complement to Gen 1. And it's basically just more Gen 1. It's Gen 1, but we've learned a bit. But then Gen 3 comes in. Because we've learned more and we can start trying and like do a whole new thing. Yeah, I don't try to remember any Pokemon's weights, because the Pokemon weights are all bullshit. Battle. Thing with Tyranitar is before Fairy type came along, it didn't have, it's pretty It's good. Yeah. I was saying, but in general, fairy type comes along, and it goes from being weak to what? Fighting type? But no one runs fighting type. No one, like, uses fighting type. It's interesting, like, basically it was, you know, Nemesis of Ludicolo. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not good. I was just saying it's just one of those things where you think of fairy type, it's like, oh, should I bring this as well? I mean, it's the one Pokemon that fighting you might bring a fighting type to counter, it feels like. Because it's just that weak to fighting type. But it's still good. I'd give it an 8 in battle. I mean, still legendary, that's just cool. Lore-wise, it's still a 7. Because its Pokédex entries carry it a lot, but I wish there was just something more with Tyranitar in the world itself, you know? There's Pokédash Studios which kind of connects, but there's not really... I just wish it had somewhere place to go its own. Opinion on it, it's an 8. I like it, but I think it just needed something else with it. Let's be fair, I think a lot of legendaries suffer from this. So legendaries not having like an area to call their own. Even when you have like, you know, areas all the Pokemon in the games like Slowpoke Cave and stuff, but then there's not like on Mount Silver there's not like a Tyranitar Cave or something. Alright, now it's time for ON. Which one to start with first? Let's start with Beldum. Battle 1. Oh yeah, the Mega. Okay. Aesthetically, it might be a 6. I'm gonna take a look at picture and reevaluate. No, it's a 6. It's lucky it gets that. It's just too pointy and too spiky and stuff. It's just... There are some Megas which work quite well, and there are others which don't do as well. I think Tyranitar, it just... too much, too spiky, too kind of pointy. It becomes like... I'm sure there's reasons for it. And I know it connects to like the whole, like, it's not Godzilla, it's the other one. But it just kind of just looks a bit messy. I like how it gets a face on its chest, but that's about it. Doesn't look as good as Tyranitar normally does. The Tyranitar is interesting in that it's big, but it kind of looks sleek. It looks like it can swim through, you know, the ground and absolutely mess you up. Whereas, you know, Mega Tyranitar looks like it, you know, it's clumsy and you know, tripping over itself. Battle-wise, it's just better Tyranitar, isn't it? So 9 in battle. Lore-wise, 7. Tyranitar, but spiky. Okay. Opinion on it, it's... If it wasn't Tyranitar, it wouldn't get so hot. Alright, Beldum. Battle 1. No, battle, not aesthetic, minion. Because anyone who's a Beldum in battle isn't, you know. Yeah. Aesthetic, it's probably actually like a 7. I really like how Beldum looks. I like how it's kind of weird and mechanical, but kind of like ancient at the same time. Lore-wise, you just get given one by Steven. That's it. Pokédex entries, so it's kind of cool Pokemon, but it's 6 because that's Pokédex entries. What is there in world building apart from... Oh, some like for instance, like you go, Steven has one. That's the only lore in the games outside the Pokédex. But that's all in Pokédex. There's nothing in the games which is tie in and round the Pokemon world outside of this trainer has one. Have like its own unique area. It doesn't have that. It's just well, Beldum's here as well. Yeah, but the Great Chasm, there's just that much stuff in general. Do you know what I mean? It's just these Pokemon there. It's like, oh, you might want to catch these Pokemon, so we'll just throw them in Great Chasm. They just realised that you might actually want to catch a Beldum, and there's not Steven here just to give you one for free. I stand by what I've said. I'm not changing my mind on that. Opinion on Beldum though is 7. Bum, bum, ba, da, bum. Metang. I like Metang, and I think part of the reason why I like it so much as well is because I do like the evolution line, but also because it looks a bit like it might be one of Eggman's robots from Sonic. I think it's the nose. The nose and the eyes, it's just like an Eggman robot. Aesthetic, 8. I like the addition of spikes. I like how it's two Beldum together, and you can kind of see that in design. Even though that middle bit just grows out of nowhere. Battle-wise, 3. Just Comic Punch. Lore-wise, 7. It's two Beldum coming together. That means it's an improvement. Opinion, 7. Now, Metagross. Metagross, aesthetic, it's a 9. I like its kind of metal, but kind of crystal as well. I like the X over its face and its mouth. Battle-wise, 8. Lore-wise, 8. You know, it's two Metang coming together. That's an improvement. Opinion, 8. I quite like Metang or Metagross. I wonder if I'd like it more if it stayed the same colour as Beldum and Metang, because it's slightly different in some sprites. Is that correctly? No, so I think that's it. I wish it was the colour it was in its Kensugi Mori art. Quite often it's not, and the Kensugi Mori art is the best colour, and it just doesn't look as. Yeah. I'd like it more if it was that colour from that. And I know it does. Like the texture, but I just think it can't look as good at Kensugi Mori art because of the limitations of the games. It feels more solid in the art, whereas in the games they always feel a bit disappointing. Alright, the Mega, right? I don't like as much how it turns gold. Doesn't look as good, I don't think. I like the big claws on its arms, and it's now like that. It's ready to attack and shoot like that. Emerald is more sprite. I like how it's technically. The implication is it might be like two Metagross that come together. Because it's got the extra ones at the back. Actually there. Machine concept art. Yeah, but I like how it's double. I don't like how that's big goldy bronze bit on the. That's good. I do like just the big hands. It stays a 9. It'd be a 10 if that stayed silver. The X. And I like how it brings back Metagross's nose and spike from the side. literally, if the X wasn't maintained the same colour as from non-Mega Metagross, it would be a 10. I like how it brings back the spikes and the Eggman robot chin spike, Metagross's nose. Battle-wise, 9. You know, it's an improvement on Metagross. Are there any of the pseudo-legendaries which are actually worse, Mega-wise? Lore-wise, 9. It's 2 that come together, it gets better. Opinion. It's a 7. I think genuinely I might all be down to the not liking it and not liking how that goes to like that. Yeah. All right, let's do Bagon. Bagon aesthetic, 5. I like Bagon and it's cute and adorable, but nothing kind of special. You know what I mean? It's just, oh, it's a cute little dragon thing. And I don't like how its helmet part can be shown. I mean, I think, to be honest, the thing I don't like most about it is its ears. I just don't like its ears and how it looks like it's got a mullet. Yeah. And I think that's the thing, because the weird yellow ear hole draws attention to the fact it's basically got like a mullet. I like it in some art more, I like it in some others less. I think in the anime it doesn't look good most of the time. Yeah. Battle 2. I remember I don't remember having basically all the moves. I know Beldum basically just takedown. That's it. I remember it just being basically what headbutt back on. Lore wise, I mean, right. Let's go through it. In the original games, you've basically got Meteor Falls, and that's about it you've got there. But Meteor Falls is kind of their place, you know. See, I think that's the problem. Tyranitar line. Tyranitar, they're overshadowed by the fact that it's Mount Silver. But Mount Silver's always been overshadowed because Mount Silver, you don't think of Tyranitar, you think of red. I think that's the problem. Whereas the issue is, like the Safari Zone, you go there for Dratini. You know, you can get it in the game corner as well. And that's why I think Beldum a bit, you know, because beyond you get it the handout after the game. Whereas Bagon at least has got, you know, Meteor Falls. Lore wise, I think it's a 7 for the kind of like thing of your dragon trying really hard to fly. Opinion 6. I quite like it. I just think it could look better. Shelgon. Now, aesthetically, I think Shelgon is an improvement even if it's weird. Taking it on its own, the fact it just goes different colours mostly, all the skin, is weird. The eyes kind of stay similar, but the only thing that kind of stays same colour is the kind of armour from Bagon's head. But I really like how it looks. I can't remember. I don't want to look on Wikipedia because I don't want to type in. I've gone backsprite. Backsprite won't help. on. Oh, I don't think it has a tail. I can't remember how the back of it looks. Goes it all into one, or it's got like. Does it? What's the back of it like? I can't remember. Is it just all going to one, or is it also got like a black hole in the back as well? Yeah. I'll give it a 7. If it had a tail instead of the black hole, I'd give it like an 8 or higher. Battle wise, I remember it being awful using battle. In my head, it's just really slow. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I remember. Going off fact, it's going off my attempt to be objective. Lore wise, 7. I like how it gets really angry because it's trying to learn how to fly and it can't. Opinion, 7. Would be higher if it wasn't basically pubertar, but the kind of idea again of like going like, well, what if we do a stage where it's like in a middle stage, which is a change where it goes before the final stage, which is a bigger version of the first one, basically. And I think it's my problem with like the whole chrysalis effect on Pokemon, which aren't just bug types. Pubertar's fine, but I wish they did more with it. And same with that Shelgon, it's like going, yeah, but if it changed something massively different, it'd be one thing, but it just becomes Salamence. And I like Salamence, but Salamence is just bag on with wings. You know? I mean, technically, it's more than just that, but you know what I mean. Okay, Salamence. Aesthetic. 6. It feels like all the design in Salamence went into its head, most of it, and the rest of it is kind of just a bit boring. Its wings are wings are crap. I mean, look at its wings. It's just, it seems like they remembered to do wings last minute. I think genuinely, the wings is what I don't like most about Salamence. They just look tacked on. They look like party wings. It looks like he went to like a costume shop and bought plastic wings. Yeah. I like the armor on its chest and stuff, and I like the red, but the wings just really annoy me. The wings hold it back enough that it only gets that 6. Battle-wise, the trouble is it's a dragon flying type. And on its own, it just feels like, what niche does it have over the other dragon flying types? Because here's the thing, if you're using the pseudo legendary, you've got that whole multi-scale Dragonite thing going on that you can use. You know? If you're using any Pokemon, there's a more fun, one. Like, oh yeah, we can Mega Evolve. So can the better dragon flying Pokemon. Battle, it's still like a 7, but I just wouldn't use it as much. I feel like there's less of a niche. I like how its head looks, but the wings don't annoy me that much. If the wings were better, and the wings didn't like they made of plastic, it'd probably be an 8 maybe. But the fact it just looks too blank on its back. It's like, oh, what the wings, and that's it. All right, Lemega. Oh yeah, it's Opinion 6. That would surprise me. Mega time. Aesthetically, I really like how the wings become. It still just looks like kind of plasticky because it's just one solid colour basically. There. I kind of want to look at a 3D model of Mega to see how its wings actually attach, or whether it's just on its back like a. That's what the metal's for, isn't it? The metal goes over, so it's like a, it's just there. Okay. It's a 7 because the iconic shape of its. I really like the shape of its head. I like armor. I like how the line on its neck becomes that kind of like split shape, like the wiggly tail. I like the shape of its wings. And if it wasn't the fact it looked like a plastic disc strapped to its back, I'd like it more. I like how its arms actually tuck away into the armour to become more aerodynamic. I like that, as if it's like holding it in. You know, that's cool. If it wasn't for the stupid wing, the shape's cool. Yeah, it's like it found a frisbee and took a bite out and bit it off so it fits on the back. It's otherwise a great aesthetic design, ruined by that. And especially, I don't like how the perspective on the art of it looks slightly off. It looks like it was drawn in after the fact. So I understand it's there so you can get the crescent is more, from an artistic standpoint, the crescent stands out a bit more, but you just look off. Like it's drawn in afterwards. Battle-wise, Salamence, Mega. Agramate. Or what Law's added, he's got crescent wings now. Opinion. 7. It'd be high if it wasn't for its wings. But I can just pretend that the wings look good. Alright, we can jump to Roaring Moon, because I've realised we may as well do the Roaring Moon. We'll do Iron Thorns next. Iron Moon is incredible. Arto, yeah. I think that's it. The official art doesn't look. It looks like it doesn't look quite right. The official art. Isn't that Ken Sugimori? Doesn't look as Ken Sugimori, so the Ken Sugimori art. Might not be, but yeah. I really like by adding the feathers on. It makes the wings look. Yeah, it's a cool shape. But also, it adds connection to the back, so it doesn't look like it's just glued on. Yeah, it's fluffy and stuff. It's not got some wiggleness, but I think it's a 9 aesthetically. And the only thing holding it back for me is the hands. And the feet look a bit bulbous. That's the only thing. They look like they just go. Oh. If I had hands, I'd demonstrate that, but I'm just being a floating brain myself. I like the kind of black bit as well. Let us out like a cape as well as wings. Yeah. Roaring Moon. Battle. What, dark flying? Oh, it's Dragon Dark. That's a high dragon. Second. Battle. I've not used it enough. I should do, but there's just that many good Pokemon in Paldea that you can get. I mean, if I'm right, the stats are pretty good, isn't it? I'll give it an 8. 8. Otherwise, I think it's an 8 as well. The whole Parrots Pokemon thing is just really cool. And I like how it's connected to the Mega, but beyond Area 0, but that comes from the 8 comes from Area 0, Paradox Pokemon in general being really cool. Then it being a paradox of the Mega and not the standard one. But beyond that, that's just it. I think on it, 9. I really like it, but alright, I'll do Iron Thorns on it. Iron Thorn. Okay. I like it more than Mega Tyranitar, aesthetically. I like its face. But I do kind of think the shiny is just better looking than the standard. I think it's just the green they picked. It doesn't look quite metal enough. It doesn't look quite kind of like Tyranitar or ceramic enough. So it's a 7 for me. I can't remember what its stat total is. Like, doesn't Roaring Moon have a pretty damn good stat total? I'm not sure if stat total of Roaring Moon is as high as the Pseudo Legendary. Or higher. Or just a bit lower. I think, is Iron Thorns of the standard as the rest of Paradox Pokemon not? Yes, it's 10 off. Whereas doesn't, what does Iron Thorns have? Yeah. I think that just means it feels like it's just a bit behind the others. It feels just like, you know, if it's as good as Screamtail and Iron Bundle, you know, it just feels like it. Battle-wise, it's probably a 7. I like the electricity aspect. That's kind of cool. All-wise, 7. And that, if it wasn't, and all of that comes from Area 0, and that there's nothing. Like, it doesn't even have that thing of, like, Roaring Moon has the mega aspect to it, whereas Iron Thorns, it's just going like, oh yeah, it's just a robot Tyranitar, which is cool, but I think they could have done something so much more cool with it. My opinion on it's probably a 6, to be honest. I genuinely forget it exists. I like it, it's Paradox and it's Tyranitar. Let's try and go for all Paradox now. Doing that already. We're gonna skip Sinnoh for now. We'll do a Nova. Dino. Already named, already done that. I'll do Iron Jugulus then. Iron Jugulus. Now. Now, I actually think Iron Jugulus, unlike Iron Thorns, I really like how they make it spindlier than Hydreigon. One of the things I don't like about Hydreigon is arguably actually is its arms. Its arms look a bit too bulky and thick, which makes it look like more like it's a human kind of arms doing puppets, hand puppets, whereas Iron Jugulus, like kind of floaty and kind of on their own like pieces. I think Iron Jugulus is like an 8. I think that's pretty damn good. Battle wise, I think it's a 7. And then I think, to be honest, or wise it's also 7 because it is just Hydreigon but a robot. It's not got that whole thing of Roaring Moon just having the you know, the mega aspect of it. Opinion on it, I think it's a 7. I kind of like it. Alright, Kalos. Yumi. Aesthetically, 8. If you disagree, I will fight you. Battle, 2. Lore-wise, kind of just there, am I rightly? In Kalos, it's interesting because it's not like it's not like a super endgame area they're in, is it? They're just kind of just there, which you kind of like when you can have it in your party, but it does mean that kind of, can you get it earlier than Noibat? think you can. I'm not sure on that, but yeah. My instinct is that you get it earlier than Noibat. Oh, it feels like though that Noibat should be a type you can get super early. It's relatively early, so it's like it's kind of like a my first dragon type kind of thing. It's not about like the end game squad, it's the one that you have for most of the game until you can get the pseudo legendary. In fact, you can get it earlier. Yeah, and then Gumi, yeah, the weather stops it from evolving. But yeah, so on Gumi. Bom 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 bom. Ba-da, ba-da, ba. Lore wise. Yeah, exactly. Noibat's too late. But there's not anything really beyond the swamp stuff with Gumi. That's just where it falls. There's nothing to it, basically. And even in Legends Arceus, beyond the alpha the Pokemon, the boss Pokemon or whatever, there's not really anything. They're just there. Unfortunately, with Gumi. Like Gumi lore-wise, it's 6 because it's a pseudo legendary, so it's got a bit more to it, but there's nothing extra. It's just a pseudo legendary that's here. Alright, so Sliggoo. Is it double J? Opinion Gumi. 9. It's an 8. It's an 8. Hyperbolic there. I do really like it, but it's not quite a 9. I mean, aesthetically, it's a 6. It's that awkward middle phase. It's there intentionally, but it just doesn't look as good. Hisuian. I think Hisuian that it eat of sleep is a 7. The anchors it to the ground more, whereas I think the standard one looks a bit top heavy. I really like the animation of it rolling round on it with the shell. And battle wise, standard one being just pure dragon. I mean, fun. But that Dragon Steel is such a good type. Is that just... What's that? Trying to use a fairy Pokemon against me? How about no? Also ice, isn't it? Resist ice. What's his weaknesses? Ground? Exactly, and ground and fighting. I'm talking about Pokemon types here, you know. So, battle-wise, normal Sliggoo would probably be a 3. Hisuian is a 4. Yeah. 4 and 5 then, Sapsipper, you know. Both of them do have it. Lore-wise, Sliggoo it's a 6. I mean, it loses its eyes and stuff because it's blind. It still has eyes, but it's blind and stuff. But the whole thing with the Hisuian one with I think does have 7, just because of like the whole thing of the how it changes its diet's changed and stuff. So there's stuff in the water and such. I kind of wish that the original one was like dragon poison, a bit more to it, but I understand why it's not. The whole goo thing, like dragon poison, dragon water, but yeah. Opinion on 6 and 7. Now, time for Goodra. I like how just adorably silly it looks. I think both of them are 8. Um, Technically, I will just say though, I was thinking of some unofficial art. I do think the divots and the circles on Hisuian 1 do look better. It's quite clear. It looks like, oh, it might be metal indentations and such, but then on the standard, both must be in or out. I think it's just eating on them is just a touch better. Like they go in a bit rather than just be at and over. I think the tail does. See, it's interesting. I'll put the color scheme of the Hisuian one. I think, you know, eyes and we hold together, but at the same time, the tail, while it really does work, isn't as aesthetically pleasing as the standard kind of shape and the kind of expression. So they're the same. They're both an 8. Okay. Battle-wise, I call it a 7 and 8. The standard Gudra is I'd use, but not as much as the Hisuian. I actually put the Hisuian up to 9. That steel type is so good. Lore-wise, 7 and 8. And I think that's just because Gudra has a bit more lore to it than its pre-evolutions. And the 8 from the extra cool stuff in the Hisuian thing of adding to them and like taking it away. Opinion on them, I like them both an 8. Bum, bum, ba, da, bum, bum. Alright. Let's do Alola. I need to get all the names in at once, last I'm going to forget them. Give me a Shadow Hotkey. Jangmo. And so, but these names I could stick in my head. Jangmo, Jangmo. Not Clangmo, is it? No, I can't remember the name right now, but I'll come back to that. I mean, Hakamo. The Pokemon that I don't know. I think it's not the case if they just appear too late in the game. I think it's a problem with a lot of pseudo legendaries in a way. I know you don't want to have them too early, but like Destiny, the fact that if you want to get it in the game economy, you can. If you want it in the game corner, you can, or you can go into Safari Zone, and that's not right at the end of the game. I mean, Tyranitar, yeah, you've got to go to Mount Silver. Yeah. Or like Gumi. But like Tyranitar, the reason why Tyranitar feels okay is because, hang on, can you get to Kanto before Mount Silver, or do you go to Mount Silver before Kanto? So you can get a Tyranitar before Kanto, right? In the Gen 2 games. So the whole point is you still have time to do stuff with it while you're still doing the story. The problem with Hydreigon is you get it and you fight Elite Four and there's nothing else to do. Going to go do your victory lap. Whereas it's not like the case of Tyranitar. The Tyranitar basically only post game. I suppose at least you've got it on your way up to red. So like the true end of the game is red, you know? Then you get it before then. Whereas Hydreigon is like feels like. Yeah, exactly. Whereas you can get a Tyranitar and take it against red. You might lose because of, you know, some Pokemon in that squad. But yeah, exactly. So you have time to have it in your squad and grow and get used to it and learn and train with it. Whereas with, you know, with the Dino line, you don't, and it's the same kind of with the Hakamo line. Jangmo, Hakamo. It's just one of those things where it's like, I like how it looks. I like how it looks a bit grumpy, a bit agitated. I say aesthetically, it's probably a 7. Can't remember if it starts off being fighting type. But it's probably a 3. The problem with it is, once again, though, it's like right before the Elite Four. So unless you're playing Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, you know, you can't. You get it, you fight Elite Four, and you're done with the game. At least in the Ultra games, you know, you've got the whole like Team Rainbow Rocket chapter. Maybe you can get it earlier, but I don't know. I mean, that's if you can get it, but in my head, that's all you get it, right? Can't get it any earlier. Lore-wise, 7. It does feel like it dominates that area in a way, and the whole trial thing with the Z crystal is really cool. It implied that it at least was it used to be a trial, or it's a natural one. Even if it's that fact that you fight Necrozma there, is that in Ultra or the base games? It's kind of like to steal some of the focus from that area. You can fight Necrozma there, right? I can't remember if that's in the original ones or in the Ultra. There's a crater off to the left. Cave, the icy cave. Ultra. Or is it something in that cave? I'm just remembering where Jangmo is. Oh no, Jangmo's on the Altar Island, isn't it? It's not on the Elite Four Island, it's on the one with the altar. Oh no, so you do have time to actually do stuff. Okay. Once again, showing it's better than Dino for that. Alola, better than Unova, because you actually use your Pokemon. Unova, with the only generation where you're forced to go into Elite Four with like a squad of unresolved Pokemon. I just remember what Volibee evolves into. Opinion on it, that's sick. I like it, but I don't know. I just didn't end up using it that much. I don't know why. Hakamo. What's the second one, right? Hakamo aesthetically is a 7. I think it does. Battle 4. I mean, Dragon Fight is actually a beautiful type and stuff, but why is it still 7? Opinion on it? It's 6 still. It is not Clang, but it's a K. Oh! I don't remember what it is. I think it's because immediately after it, Pokédex is Tapu Koko, which is so it's the because it's it's basically like Tapu Koko Momo. It's that's how I remember it. Aesthetically, I think it kind of works. I know some people don't quite like it. I think it's pretty cool stuff, and I really like its tail. I really like how the scales are its armor. I really like its mouth. I think its face is really good. It's a bit busy, but kind of does work towards the Pokemon. Yeah, Scarlet Violet looks fantastic. I don't think is in the base game Scarlet Violet or in the DLC. I know it's in the DLC. I'd say it's an 8 aesthetically. Otherwise, 7. Trouble is, like, it's good to have a dragon fight in your back pocket, but I just feel like I'm just not going to use it as much. Lore-wise, a 7. The trouble is, it's one I forget about compared to some of the others. Alright. Let's do... yeah. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I've put them all in first. Okay, Frigibax, Artifax, Baxcalibur. Frigibax is a difficult one. I think aesthetically it's a 5. It's just a bit ugly and not kind of ugly cute. They're trying to go for ugly cute, but it just looks a bit ugly. I just don't like the big thing on the back of his hands. It just looks weird. It looks like something that's fallen onto its face and stood back up. When it's doing its kind of in its art, it looks better. But when it's standard posing the games, where it just looks like it's going, it looks a bit like in Empire Strikes Back when the Yoda puppet, when it's quite clear Frank Oz has pulled the mouth back a bit too far. That's what it looks like. There's moments when it can look like better, but yeah, it looks best and it's in the art. It's looking a bit angry. It looks like a bit of a stroppy baby, and that's best. Battle wise, 3. Lore wise, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have an area, but they definitely do feel like they dominate that. And I do remember lore-wise in the game, that world building, I do feel like looking around the area for ages for one of them. I remember that more, but that was more recent. Lore-wise, is the Jordan it ties the area, but they don't have a specific I suppose the caves belong to them technically. Like that's the thing, is the caves that would classify as them in their areas. Opinion 5. Right, then there's Arctibax, which the feathers on the back of its hand. 1 stage, 2 stage, first basic 1, 2, 3 shows which evolution stage they're at. Feathers, I don't know what they're going for, but they just don't. If you could fire them off like boomerangs or something, I'd like it more, but they're just there. I know, but it's claws on top of claws. It's a hat on a hat, literally. That's where it claws underneath that serviceable and work. It seems like they get in the way of the actual claws. And you can't fire them off or anything, If you could fire them off, I'd like him more, but hold it back. I really like the kind of ice metal it has, the icy metal armor it has. Pretty cool. Yeah, I agree. The other way, and then you'll be able to fire them off. If they were made of ice, they'd be so much better. Just them being like higher line, just a bright colour which only ever appears the eyes. But at least, you know, Frigibacks and Arctibacks, at least they match the eye colour. Whereas, you know, Baxcalibur, which has them being red, and it just feels out of nowhere. Yeah, I do prefer the kind of Spinosaurus body shape. I think Arctibacks is a 7. If they weren't yellow, if they were made of ice, even if that way around, it'd be an 8. If they were flipped around, or it instead had like ice growths over its claws, like in the same way it has on its jaw, it'd be a 9. Yeah, and then there's Excalibur. I'll come back to the stuff. I need aesthetics. I like it. I actually like how it looks. The red annoys me if it was made of ice. I think it makes more sense on that than the other one. Say that the red claws. If they're made out of ice, I'd like it more, and it would be like a 9. If it kept the Arctibacks body plan, as you say, like this, you know, Spinosaurus kind of thing, it would be a 10. But I don't like how the claws aren't even yellow like the other ones. It's red all of a sudden, which comes out of nowhere. And aesthetically, I don't like how the thing moves animated. But when you think about that, those complaints, how many plates is that? I don't mind them being that way round. It looks the correct way round, at least. The red claws. It should be made out of ice. Or be yellow. So, I think it's a 7. It's the same as Arctibacks. I think it could have been... I wouldn't mind even it standing up if it's claws. If they were yellow, I'd probably give it an 8. Except I wish it would have, you know, kept that body plan. But, you know, I think the trouble is, because Frigibacks and Baxcalibur both stand up straight like that, it makes Arctibacks feel weirder, because Arctibacks has that body plan, and then stands back up straight. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's just like extreme slouch. Yeah. Battle-wise, Arctibacks 4. Baxcalibur, probably actually a 9. Baxcalibur, I remember using it a lot. It saved my hide a lot of times in Pokemon Scarlet, no, Pokemon Violet when I was playing through it. Really handy to have. Its ability was good, and it would murder everything. Lore-wise, 7 both of them. It should all Pokédex and caves. Opinion, Arctibacks 7. Excalibur does have a high opinion just because of how much it carried me in some of those battles. I was making sure not to overlevel in those games. And then the part's like, oh, I'm already this overleveled anyway. Opinion 8. Because I can in my head, it doesn't look like how it does. It looks like I imagine it to be perfect. So aesthetics don't come into the opinion for me on it. All right, now let's go for. It's adorable. 9. In battle, it's not as bad as Beldum, but I think it's a 2. And I think to be fair, it is pretty bad. But the ghost type mean that, you know, they can't just tackle you. And also the fact that technically you use it every time you use the signature move of its evolved forms. And technically, but realistically, yeah. Yeah. Okay, it's a 1. I was trying to make it so it would be low rated. But it's a ghost type, at least got that going for it. I think the ghost type and the fact that it's technically used by across the entire line make it 1, not 0. Lore-wise, 8. Has it got a special area in the game? No, but the Pokédex and how it's wrapped into all the Pokemon in the line is just perfect. Dracaloak. I mean, just look at it. How much fun the Dreepy on its head's having. I don't think it's quite as good as Dreepy. That's not its own fault. It's not fault, but it's only an 8, unfortunately. Battle-wise, you know what? Actually, I'd give it a 5. It's not as good as it's the fully evolved form, but unlike Xylus, it feels like, you know, while you're waiting for it to evolve at that very high level, it feels like it's actually usable. Whereas I think like Artibax didn't quite have that. Artibax felt like it was struggling a bit. Whereas I think Dracloak actually was doing decently. Lore-wise, 8. My opinion on Dreepy is a 9. A Dracloak is an 8. Okay. Dragapult. I'm getting a picture up so I can just look at it. It's incredible. I like how smug it looks. It looks smug, it looks sneaky, it looks cunning. I like how, you know, it's just sitting comfortably in the air. Bit silly. It's a bit silly, but that's what all Pokemon need. You know, I like the Echo Carrot, I like the Dreepy. I like how on the official art, one of the Dreepy's neck is a bit longer. If it's poking it out and it's stretchy. I like the malleability of it being a ghost. I like its tail, how its tail goes transparent at the end. I like how that works on some of the 3D models, to be honest, as well, about how it looks like goes enough into nothing. I actually like the end of its tail arguably more in the games than in the art. Even though it looks good in the art, I like in the games how it just disappears into nothing. I think it's a 10, aesthetically. Aesthetically, it's a 10. Along with Snom and Frostmoth, you know, it's just perfectly designed. Battle-wise, it's a 10. I'm going to pick it for battle. Just Dragon Darts is incredible. One of my favourite moves in Pokemon just because it's, you know, it's a move that you can use either in doubles or singles, and either way, it just is so good. Like, oh, because there's so many moves where it's like, oh, it's a good move in doubles, but in singles it's not as good, or in singles it might be good, but in doubles it's where it's like, no, it's good in both. It hits both. Lore-wise, it's an 8. If I could give it more, I would. But unfortunately, it's already built on the thing of like... The 8 thing is the fact that Dreepy is in every single one of them. And that's what helps Dreepy as well. The fact it's, you know, it's the symbiotic bond of all of them. Opinion-wise, 10. My favourite Pokemon. Alright, and now it's time for Gibble. Now. Aesthetically, 10. Ghibli just perfect. It's a big, cute mouth shark thing, which is just adorable. Yeah. Right. Battle-wise, it's a 2. Ghibli isn't that good in battle. Lore-wise, it's tricky because I do think basically they benefit from having basically their own area in that cave. And I'll never. That's the thing. Is it Platinum or Diamond and Pearl that have it so you've got to get through it first to catch the boat to catch it? But you got to go down the ladder, so you need strength. I think is it Platinum they did that. Or did Platinum have it so that they would just appeared everywhere in that cave? Yeah, okay. But doesn't but does Diamond have it so they appear in that cave anyway? On a low chance. But you still need strength to get past. Only basement, okay. I wish you'd get it earlier, but I mean, still, you can get it relatively early. Bum bum bum. Ba-da-bum. I'll just look at lore-wise, I'm trying to think of a good justification, but the thing is, they don't really have their own area. Cynthia has one, but I mean, Steven is Metagross. You know, can't count champions as lore, because that's just it being in the world of being a strong Pokemon. It's on location, but I think it's just a 7, unfortunately. Bit of an area and stuff. I don't know if it feels cool, but opinion, Ghibli's 10. Gibite. 10. Practically. It's the perfect middle stage Pokemon. It's that kind of like awkward middle phase, but it still looks cool. Still looks kind of like it's like a kind of moody teenager. Battle wise, 4. It works, but it does can feel better. But Luffort evolves before long into Garchomp, unlike some of the later Pokemon. Lore wise, it's a 7. Opinion wise, 9. It's not quite as adorable as Gibble. Still quite fun. Then you have Garchomp. And Garchomp, aesthetically, 10. Adorable. That makes it powerful, but just absolutely adorable at the same time. That can fly as well. Perfect. Battle-wise, 10. I will. Lore, it's a 7, unfortunately, because, you know, I can't give it anything else. There's nothing else to it. It's like, Cynthia has one. Fortunately, that's it. Opinion 10. Alright, now it's time for Mega Garchomp. Aesthetically, it's a 9. It is a downgrade. It's just a bit too much going on. I mean, I like how I like the jaw. I don't mind the kind of like the blades, but I think it's fair. I think it's the extra spikes to make it look like it's got like a mouth, stomach, and like spikes down below. It's like especially when previously in the evolution line, it doesn't. I mean, it has a bit of them with Gabite, and it has them with Garchomp on the legs and on the arms. That's one thing. But the fact that it's got it on the chest now, it just feels a bit too much. Also, I think if the blades weren't the red, it would look even better. I don't know. If maybe it's the yellow, because the yellow feels more like kind of like highlight colour. I think if the blades had the yellow, maybe. Yeah. I like its tail though. I like the fin on its back's even big. Its head gets. But I think just the spikes around its, around the kind of chest, and I think the arms don't attach as gracefully as they do on Garchomp, with the red kind of going underneath on Garchomp, as opposed to Mega. Battle-wise, I mean, technically it'd be like an 11. It's Garchomp, but more. Kind of. Lore-wise, it's an 8 because it's Mega, and that's cool. Fine, I think. I'm penalised for that. So, opinion, it's 9. It's just, it's good. It's not as quite as good as Garchomp, even if you know. You don't tax any of those. So, let's do another form then. La Vesta. always be a legendary in my heart. Lavesta is 9 aesthetically. The only thing holding it back is that it's fake. The angle of it can look a bit weird when it's not looking at the angle. That's that kind of like, I don't know what to call it, like what, 3/4 angle. Its eyes can look a bit weird. Because you know how they have to move the angle it is to make sense, because otherwise the eyes are just so far apart. It looks bizarre. But that's the only thing stopping it from being higher marks. But it's my list, so I can give it. Battle-wise, I mean, I love the Pokemon. But let's face it, it's a 2. It feels like as an egg, it might be more useful in battle. Lore-wise, it's a 9. Yet it's an egg. There's the whole battle with Volcarona in the kind of caves, in the underneath the pyramid in the sand and stuff, and it's like a entire area that's solely Volcaronas. It feels like an actual legendary. It feels like, oh my god, they let me catch a legendary in this game. Opinion 10. And that no Volcarona. I messed up the A and the O there. Volcarona aesthetically 10. Battle-wise, 10. So what if it's fragile? It burns you to a cinder first hand. You don't need to worry about getting hit. Lore-wise, it's 10. I've got justification for that because, yeah, see, Lavesta is really cool. It's got an entire area and it's got an egg and stuff, but it's got a mural behind Volcarona. If Garchomp had a mural, it'd get a 10 as well. But see, what I could tell is Minion wouldn't settle me putting 10 based on what I've already voted for with previous Pokemon. But with Volcarona, it's justified because there's a mural. Opinion 10. If this list wasn't meant to be at least passingly objective, if it wasn't at least meant to be an illusion of objectivity here, I would give more than 10 for some of Garchomp. But unfortunately, that's not the case. That, I think, does mean Volcarona is the highest rated Pokemon in here so far. Garchomp would be higher if I could bend the rules, but I've been told I can't. That's what opinion's for. I just realised, actually, I can bend the rules for opinion. So, Lavesta, opinion-wise, is 25. Dragapult is 25. And Garchomp is 100. This is why opinion here. The opinion column is solely here to humour myself. Because I know it only matters for tie breaks. Oh. Bom 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 bom. Alright. Bom bom bom. Paradox that way. Iron Moth. Now, Iron Moth, aesthetically, I would say it's a 10. One is Volcarona, which is awesome. Also, the best Paradox Pokemon. Almost. I mean, got Lavesta. Perfect design. And then what do? It makes its wings float and make it... Its face is more adorable than Lavesta, so I'll say that. Lavesta has the face of like an unknowable kind of like bug god. It looks like it should be a boss in Hollow Knight based on its face. And then you look at Lavesta, I mean Iron Moth, and Iron Moth, they managed to take that face of unknowable power, and what they've done is they made it adorable. They made it look like that #1 toy that every child wants, because like, and then its floating wings is genius. And how they work and kind of come off and detach and stuff, that's brilliant. Battle-wise, is it stats a little higher than Larvesta's? I can't remember what Larvesta's is. Oh yeah, Volcarona should be 30. Oh, actually, I mean, Volcarona should be 25 and Larvesta be 20. Wise. Oh, and then Frostmoth and Snom, it's 15, 20. Snom being 15, Frostmoth being 20. I just remembered I could opinions on whatever I want on. What was that on the was that about the stats? I don't think I think this might be the least progress we've had in any of them. I'm having fun. That's what matters. Bomb. Bomb. Are you in the chat? Are you those who are watching, are you having fun? Because I am, that's all that matters. Okay. Okay. Battle wise, I don't know. I just wouldn't use Iron Moth maybe, because I think Fire Poison's fun, but just the bug actually can be a really big bonus. I think it's a 9. Now the problem is lore wise. It's a 7. Because lore-wise, it is just Volcarona. Yeah. My opinion of it is like, it's an 11. But it just doesn't have a mural. Slitherwing. Alright. Aesthetically, Slitherwing, I think it's a 9. Would be a 10 if it wasn't for the tail. I understand why it's got the tail, because all Pirates Pokemon have a tail. But the fact that the shiniest tail fits in a bit more being the coloured. If it wasn't green, if it matched the purple of its feet or head, I'd be fine with it. But it's just green, it just comes out of nowhere and doesn't match the rest of it. It's red or green or yellow, but it just... No, not green. The green just... You lose the entire point for the green tail. I'm not saying it shouldn't have a tail, it does need that tail to balance it out. But... And some great art of Slitherwing, to be fair. Take the screen share minion, like for instance that one of it with the wing vest. Fantastic. That one, if its tail was more that colour, like that kind of pale blue there, that one you can see minion, or even the colour of the shiny. Fortunately, it's not. Bug fighting, that's kind of fun to be honest. Battle wise, it's still probably a 7 though. I'm just not going to use it as much as. Bug fighting is, you know... Who do use a fighting type Pokemon? No one uses a fighting type Pokemon, you know? I say that knowing that Urshifu is in basically all competitive builds, but... That's just there because they have to. That's just there to scare people from using Tyranitar. Lore-wise, 7. It's just an ancient version of it. I think probably 8 actually, to be honest. The fact that the trouble is though that the past Paradox Pokemon, even though I like the look of a lot of the ones, the past ones being based on actual, being not just robots, are a bit more interesting. Opinion on it is probably it's a 10. I like it, but it's a 9. Never mind, it's 9. I think it's just the tail that bugs me. Hey, that wasn't intended, that pun, but alright. Oh yeah, I also said remembered Mandibuzz. Aesthetically, it's a 6. I like it, but I just think it's could be better. Battle wise, I mean it exists, but 5. Dark flying's better than normal flying. That's about it. Lore wise, it's a 5. Opinion on it, probably a 4. Just a vulture with bones in its head. Oh, it's a cave person vulture. 2 hours. How many Pokemon we got in that? 5% of the decks. Alright. Let's get some Pokemon that is actually important. What they actually. One call. Let's go through the. Oh, I've already done Taurus, haven't I? Taurus, Miltank, Buffalo. Already done them. Bum bum bada bum. Bada bum 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 bum. Let's do Yanma Yamega. I like how, you know, I think it might be Hiker Anthony again who does the breakout of talks about the breakout of them. Yanma, I said this so many times, but it is like one of the biggest examples of Gen 2. It looks like a Gen 2 Pokemon. It's like a bit more complicated than Gen 1, but still very early, just like a very early Pokemon. Yanma is aesthetically it's a 5. It's just an average Pokemon. Looks better than most Gen 1 Pokemon in some ways, but Gen 2 is its own kind of weird thing. I think Gen 2 in the first starter feels like Pokemon become more stylized. Gen 1's important, I think Gen 2 is like a crystallization of going, oh, we can have things looking. I think Gen 1 Pokemon feel like they can fit anywhere in the world in some ways, whereas in every generation going past do feel more kind of stylized to that region. I think Gen 2 starting that is really important. I think a lot of times in franchising, long-running things, the second thing is quite often forgotten in some ways when it's really important. It shows that things can continue and things can change as a blueprint going forward. So the first person who does something, everyone remembers them. Like, oh, it's the first, so it's like nostalgia for that, being Pokemon or in other things. And the second comes along that shows what keeps and what changes and how you go forward. Apart from Zelda 2, which is showing exactly what shouldn't go forward. Important, arguably, but not for fun. Yeah, anyway, Yanma. Aesthetics 5? Said that right? Yeah. Does it have speed boost still? I was like, got rid of. I mean, battle-wise, I think it might be 4, and that might actually be Pokemon Channel. Not Pokemon Channel, Pokemon Coliseum. Yeah. 4 Pokemon Coliseum. It actually feels viable in battle. You know. And I did appreciate seeing it in the was it Kitakami? That's quite fun. Yeah, so Yanma, battle 4, lore wise 5, And all of that comes from Hiker, one of the I think it's Hiker Anthony again, phoning you up and being like, hey, the Outbreak of Yama here. And Pokemon Colosseum. Opinion Yama, it's a 6, I like it. Yanmega. The colours are a bit more boring. It just becomes like, you know, dark green. Feels like Yanma's is, it just feel like exactly, you know, what they're going for and stuff. I just don't like it. It's probably a 5 still, but it doesn't feel, designed wise, it feel better. It's different, more alien, more kind of military in a weird way. So aesthetically 5. Battle wise, you can't argue it's not better. That's the thing. So it's probably a 6 in battle. But lore wise, it's a 6 because of like how the hidden power of what's it, ancient power connection. Opinion, it's probably 5. I prefer Yama to it, arguably. I just think that's how it looks. There's a Pokemon card that was a Yanmega, but that's about it. What have I already got? Yep. Oh, I've not got yet. Opinion. That's a 5. Whereas I think Yama's was 6. Murkrow Honchkrow. No. Murkrow Honchkrow. Murkrow, aesthetically, a 6. Battle, it's probably 3. Lore wise, it's a 4. It's just, I mean, 5. It's a mobster crow. Opinion on it, 7. I quite like Honchkrow. I like quite Murkrow, but you know, there's not really much to it. Honchkrow. Aesthetic, 7, to be honest. I think it's, you know, pretty good design. It's a bird, but it's dapper, you know? What more can you say? Battle wise, probably 5 at most. The most use I've ever had was that as a Pokemon V card. And then lore wise, what did I put Murkrow as? Heck. Bom 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 bom. It's a 6. It's got the extra thing of the stone, so it's something a bit more to it. Ties a bit more in with the kind of mobster stuff. But it's a 6, there you go. Bom bom bom. Opinion wise, it's probably a 7 still. I don't like it, but you know, it's fine. Well, we had to go for Skarmory. Everyone's favourite Gen 3 Pokemon. Aesthetic. This is tricky. I think the thing with Skarmory is people remember it more as a Gen 3 Pokemon for 2 reasons. 1, it's hardly anywhere in Gen 2. It's just unreasonably rare and basically no one uses it, including the Steel Gym Leader. And also it appears in Pokemon Colosseum. And for a lot of people, if they've not seen it in other generations, it's going to appear in Pokemon Colosseum and you can see it there. Also, I suppose it is in that, what's the town called? The volcanic dust town in Pokemon Ruby Emerald. Like, it's there, you know? So people associate it with Hoenn. Gen 3. Not Laveridge. But, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's there. I might be misremembering, but... Yeah. Boom. Oh, it's rough. Oh, is Falabor the wind, the dust one, or the jungle rope walk one? Yeah, that's it. I think Scammer's got a pretty good design, to be honest. The trouble is, he's got a better design version of it comes later. I'll give it a 7. Battle-wise, 4. Outside Pokemon Coliseum, it's been a pretty disappointing battle. Lore-wise, I mean, it's 5. It was good at the time, you know. And most of the pun of its name. Opinion on it is 5. It's forgettable. Let's just do the better version now. Let's do Rook. Rookie D. Yeah, in the end. Then it's obviously Carver Squire and Carver Knight, but I really like how its eye's on actually the red part and the white part isn't its eye. That's just around its eye. I really like that. It's cute. It's adorable. It's I say it's an 8. Battle wise, it's not battle wise. It's 3. That's mostly just the early game, so it's a 3. Lore wise, I mean, just a bird. Lore wise, for just it's a 4, and all of that basically comes from what it's turned into and its evolution line and its name. The rest, otherwise, it would just be a 3. Opinion on it, 7. Quite like it. Carver Squire. Carver Squire, I do quite like it. What? Probably an 8 as well aesthetically. I think it's about similar to Rookie D because it's not as adorable anymore, but it's kind of cool now. Battle wise, 4. Still don't need it in battle. Lore wise, 4. It's still just bird with extra. Opinion, 7. Harvey Knight is just a aesthetically 9. Battle 8. You know, ground type does nothing against it. Fighting type doesn't do most things against it. I think electric type still is just as effective, isn't it? Electric type and fire. But you know, ignoring ground, pretty fun. Yeah, lore-wise, I want to give it more 6. The connection with like when they later untied in, you know, the Pinkerton, but opinion at 9. Quite like it. It's not in my like top tier of like top 5 Pokemon, but it's in my top 10, top 20, possibly. I really like it, but it's just this Pokemon I like more. The G Max. Max Carver Knight. I like it. I mean, it's a kind of bigger Carver Knight in a way, with the red. But I mean, aesthetically, the red does really help its design. I mean, it already looked good, but the red makes it better. The fact it already red eyes did help. And then the things flying around, it might get. Drones really help. I think it's a 10. Battle 9. Just because it only boosts to health. If the I mean, I know it's technically has it got its own G-Max move? That's how it works, right? G-Max Pokemon have their own move. Lore-wise, 7. Because the drones add an extra 1 and stuff and that. Fortunately, can't get any more really based on logic. Opinion is a 9. Yeah. I am Valiant while we're here then. Iron Valiant. Oh. I think it is like actually basically like it manages to make Gallade's kind of like weird round hips work because it didn't get out as far. Gallade should take a lesson from Iron Valiant. See, exactly, it works on a robot. Aesthetically, I think it's an 8. I like its kind of hairstyle. Eyes. Doesn't look like a Sonic character. No. It looks like a Badnik, but that's kind of fine to be fair. Of all the kind of like future Pirates Pokemon, it just almost look like, you know, a kind of like it's, you know, like a metal Sonic. So it's like metal Gardevoir Gallade line. But that's battle wise, fairy fighting is so fun. And I wish there was a different fairy fighting type that wasn't a Pirates Pokemon, so it could appear in regular play. Battle wise, I'd say it's a 9. Fairy fighting is such a good type. I don't know if that's true, but I'll say it confidently. Lore wise, it's an 8. Like Roaring Moon. Roaring Moon has that kind of thing of it being, oh, it's not just a standard watch on, it's a Mega. And Iron Valiant being, they tried to make Ultimate Psychic Pokemon instead of got Fairy Fighting. I just wish more Pirates Pokemon were like that. Instead of just being one Pokemon, it's the line. Or it's a Mega or something like that. Opinion on it, I think it's a 9. Oh. Okay. Any variants I'm missing? Yeah. Let's do some. Bum bum bum. Bum bum. No, actually. I'm trying to give it a history. I'm trying to remember the pre-evolutions of Pokemon. So Lilligant. Statically 7 and 8. 8 for the history. 6 and 8. Otherwise standard. I'm gonna 7. Then the and it's probably the same 6 and 7. And got Lil in his name. Petalil. Petalil. I mean, it's fine. Aesthetically, it's a 4. Yeah, I mean, it's... I know I've been rating some grass Pokemon rather highly before, because it's a bit more imagination, but it's just a siege with eyes. Battle, 2. Battle-wise, it's 2. Lore-wise, it's not even got that thing of being, like... Lilligant at least has the thing of, like, taking care of, like, all the Pokemon's children and stuff, so it's got more lore to it. It's just, I think it's a 4 Petalil. Opinion on it? It's 5. I don't hate it, but it's just kind of not memorable. I think I also don't like the colour of it in 3D. Make it more yellow. Bum 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 bottom. Bottom. Luton Solrock. Right, aesthetically. Lunetone 7, Solrock 6. Battle-wise, both 5. Lore-wise, maybe 6. I mean, beyond Meteor Falls, they've not really got much going for them. Meteor Falls, Tate and Lies, there should be more to them, but he's not. Opinion on them, I mean, it's 6. They're fine. Alright. Oh yeah, Seal Dugong. Okay. Now, yeah. I'm not sure which one's worse aesthetically. I think Seal is uglier. Because Seal gets the 3. Dugong gets the 4, because at least Dugong isn't as ugly to look at, although it's just, you know, it's just a seal with the horn on its head, that's all it is. But at least it's Pokemonized a bit, whereas Seal is just dog and that. Yeah, there you go, 3 and 4. Battle-wise, 2 and 4. No reason to use one unless you've got to. We've got ice types now. In the same games that you've got Lapras, which is better. Lore-wise, 2. Just a seal. Hunyan, 2. Yeah. Oh, more water ice, that's why we're here. Shelter and Cloyster. I'm so surprised that Cloyster hasn't had a regional variant yet. Make it steel type, like steel ice or something, because it's Shelter, aesthetically 4. Battle 2. Lore wise 4. Kenyan 4. And the only reason it's so high in the lore and opinion is because it's in every Pokemon underwater scene, because it's become one of those generic underwater Pokemon, you know what I mean? Cloyster, however, I do like quite how Cloyster looks. I think Cloyster deserves a regional variant. I'm not for giving every Gen 1 regional variant, but I think Cloyster deserves one. Or a Paradox. Not parallax, conversion, that'd be cool. I quite like how it looks. I think close is like a 7. Battle-wise, give it a 5. It's okay. I've probably rated it above Pokemon which argue better in battle. But I feel like it'd be more fun to use with the kind of like, you know. Lore-wise, I mean, it's got the same. Oh, it's anti-shell. Give it a 5. Give it a 5 for, you know, the innuendo of it. Opinion, 6. I quite like Cloyster. Let's blitz through some more. Sfeel. Celio. Walrein. Alright. Sfeel. Aesthetically. Oh, okay. We want to go to war. It's a 4. It's a ball, but it's a seal. Oh wow, you've already got Maril. That's a blue ball. The only reason why it's not lower is because it's adorable, at least. Yeah, Spheel's cuter. That's the only reason why it gets any points in aesthetic. Its cuteness carries it. What else it got going for it? It's cute and it rolls. Nothing else. Yeah, but that's better from its evolutions. It's just... It's just a big... It's a ball. I'm not saying it's not effective design, but it's just... They've drew a circle and added bits to it. That's all it is. Alright. Battle-wise, 2. Ken's killed rollout is kind of fun, you know. Yeah. That'd make it more interesting. Aesthetically, I just think it's an effective design. At the end of the day, it's just they've just gone, what have you made it a ball? And it's not as done as well as it is with Wooloo, I think. I think Wooloo is a more interesting take on a ball. You just heard someone from Kirby being friend shape, and that's it. Alright. Lore-wise, I mean... Lore-wise, 3. It's just a round thing. Like, opinion-wise, my opinion on it is probably a 7. I like it, but that's just because it's adorable. There's no basis in me actually liking it. Celio, technically it's probably a 2 to be honest. I don't like how it looks. The only thing it's got going for it is mustache, and that carries it to like... No, put it at 3. It'd be a 1 if it wasn't for the mustache. Mustache is worth 2 points. Battle. 3. Ice water is not that good of a type. Yeah, I know. At this point, I'm just checking if you're still paying attention by saying things that I know will wind you up. And possibly other people who are lurking. So feel free to carry on lurking. Is welcome. My opinion, I've done battle. It's a 3 for lore. It's just a sea lion. Opinion on it, it's a 5. Walrein, I actually quite like Walrein. Aesthetically, I kind of I like Walrein when I'm not looking at it. I think, yeah. My biggest problem with Walrein is its face. The fact that the top of its head is white as well. I understand it going for the wave thing, but the fact just being like, makes it look like, instead of it have it like being fur or hair, it's wearing like cap. It makes it look too clownish with the blue nose. It's literally just the top of its head that holds it back. It was just like a bit more blue in its face. Maybe it like had like kind of wavy shape or something like the shape of maybe like a not like a cresting wave, but like a more wavy shape around its eyes and such. It wasn't just pure white on top of its head. I think I'd like it a bit more. I think its head just being pure white just kind of looks a bit boring. Crap. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, battle-wise, it's probably like a 6. The trouble for me was, with the using it in battle, was the only generation I'm going to use it in battle is in Gen 3. I know they might have buffed it later on or whatever, but like the only generation I'm going to use Walrein is Gen 3. And where do you get it? You get it in the thingy cave, where it's just... It just feels like the game's kind of already wrapping up by then. Yeah. Aesthetically, I don't know. It's a 5. It'd be higher if it wasn't for the... Like I said, if it had something else around the eyes, like a bit more blue on its head. It'd be higher. But that the head being white means... I think it makes the nose stand out too much, and the nose just looks like... It looks like instead of being a nose, it's just got a berry on its face. And not in like a good, funny way, like it bouncing a ball or something like a Pokemon will do, eventually. What am I missing for it? Lore, it's the same lore, just a sea lion. I mean 4, because it's a bit more of the weight design. Opinion 6. I like it more when I'm not looking at it. Right, let's go for... Snova, Glalie, Frostlass. Oh no, that's Snova. Snova, Bomb Snow then. Bomber Snow. I always forget there's the no N in it. Well, there's any snow, but... Okay. Snova. I mean, it's... I think Snova's the point when some of the plant Pokemon started to get a bit just... like I said, I've already professed what I think is some of the earlier plant Pokemon, and like it's a bit more interesting in there. But Sinnoh is the point where it's goes like, what if it's just a plant? What if it's a rose, but like, what if it's a pine tree, but it's alive? And Snova is just that, you know. It was still novelty when you had even some flora, or like, oh, what if it's a massive vines but alive, or a rose but alive, or a cactus but alive? That's how it's just this but alive, you know. Pseudo-Widow is interesting, but it's a tree but alive, but it's rock. Yeah. Snova, aesthetically, I mean, it looks good while doing it, but I think it's a 4. It's still just a snowy tree that walks around. I think also how stupid Snova looks from most directions. Its visual art looks decent, but most times you see it from like in the anime or people do other art of it, it looks stupid. Which helps aesthetically, to be honest, but it doesn't not exactly like the most aesthetic Pokemon. Battle 2. Set it on fire. Lore-wise, 3. It's just a snowy tree that's alive. Abomasnow. Feel like how it looks? No. It's a 2 aesthetically for me. It's just green and white with a touch of purple and red from its mouth. That's it. It looks like a rejected Muppet. It looks like someone's OC Muppet. Opinion on Snova? 4. I'd like Snova more if it appeared earlier in the Sinnoh games. But it's been that late for... Yeah, but we're doing the shiny right now. It just looks like someone's Muppet OC, like I say, and not in a good way. Very good people who make basically their own Muppet designs, and they look quite good. This isn't one of them. I think its face is just bad. Battle wise, 4. Wait. Yeah, 4. Because they're always gonna have a fire type on the team, and snow warning isn't enough for them not to fire blast you. Lore wise, I think it's like, to be honest, it's like a 6. Adding the abominable snowman part in there is pretty cool. Opinion on it though is probably a 4 still. The Mega. Oh boy, the Mega. What's better than a load of tassely bits? More tassely bits! It's got ice spikes now. What? Yep. Yeah, sure. Okay. I mean, I think it's a bit better to look at than Abominous Snow still. I mean, it's cuter, but I think it's still 4 at most. Where I think it would have been hard to make it worse than Abominous Snow. Battle, 6. Lore, 6. Opinion, 5. Fine. Now I'll try and remember what that one is. Snow Run, that's it. Snow Run, Frostlass and Glalie. Okay. I mean, aesthetically, it's a 4. It's fine, but it just kind of is just... You know, it's just a thing in kind of no cape. Bum bum ba da bum bum. Battle 2. Yeah, hang on, it's probably 3 actually in reality. Lore wise, 3. It's just a snow thing in the straw coat stuff. Like it's shivering all the time, and that's probably what gets it the extra point from just being it's just a thing in snow gear. Opinion on it, 5. Don't mind it. Glalie. Type in. Glalie. It's fine. Just weirdly disconnected. Goes from being a thing in kind of like straw winter gear to being just a floating head. Like sending me out something. Aesthetically, I think it's a 4. Okay. Floating cat head all of a sudden. No, it's just, you know, it just became a floating cat head. There's no explanation for it beyond kind of a snowflake in a way, but metal kind of textured most of the time. Quite shaded. Yeah, it's just there. Your eyes. Doesn't actually. Battle 4. Law. There's no connection to them. May as well be their own Pokemon. It's like, well, we've got this design and we've got this design. Should we do another one for the floating cat head? Opinion 4. I don't like it, just a floating cat head. I know there's the Mega, I'll get to it. Yeah. Both point it and one has blue eye and they both have blue eyes. Like, it's just they have a mouth as well that's upturned, that's about it. Frostlass, however, we'll get to the Mega. Frostlass is quite obviously connected to Snorunt. Frostlass aesthetically, I think it's like it's a 7. I really like the kind of like the use of the obi on it to give it like a fin to make it like feel more floaty, you know. I like its hands and like how the bottom of the sleeves also that kind of fin texture to make it feel like it's alive and, you know, weird and ghosty. I like the little ice like stubs on top of its head. I like how it's got kind of like a skeletal face, but then that kind of like diamond dot is also there to show that it's not just a skull, it's kind of like part of its skin. The purple, which is what they're trying to kind of do with Jinx, which is kind of like the, you know, frostbitten skin. Well, I think it's just really good design. I think the difference is, you look at Snom, I mean, Snom is quite clearly an ice type. Snorunt might be, but that could be. You could. I think someone could argue rock type or ground type, and most people would be like, yeah, okay. You know, got Glalie. Like, if you don't tell them his name, you look at it, you go like, I don't know, steel, dark, ghost, water. You don't know what type it is by looking at it. I'd say feels more steel, dark. Whereas Frostlash, you look at it, you go like, that's Ice Ghost. Or Ice Fairy. Or Ice Psychic, maybe, but it's clearly Ice. Frostlash. Battle-wise, I think it's like a 6. Some really fun stuff you can do. I do like how sometimes it's actually based on actual, like, kind of like, actual use in battle. And some kind of like pseudo-competitive stuff, and other times it's like, or other times it's how I've used in battle, and other times it's just like vibes. I won't use it in battle. I'm trying to be. Lore-wise, 8. I really like it tying to the Yukiana. I really like how it's used in some of the games. I think it would probably have to be a 7 if it wasn't for that entire quest in Legends Arceus, where basically you seem to be sent by Frostlass to solve her own death. That's a really cool part. Ping on Frostlass 8. I really like it. It's a very weird Pokemon that will freeze you to death, though. So you know. You know what? Oh no! Oh yeah, no, I do. Why couldn't a Frostlass got the Mega? My question. At least Mega Glalie looks more Ice type. I like the orange pupils. And then you can see there's just a picture of it. Where someone's taken, like... What? It looks more like ice, at least, in the Mega. Like, opposite. Like a carbuncle from... Aesthetically, I can't remember what I get. Glaile's a 4. I mean, Mega Glaile's probably like a 6. Still don't know why it evolves from Snorunt, but at least it's clearly Ice type. And that might just be the mist in front of it and the bit of the icy on the horns at least. But look at that, you see why it's Ice type. Glalie, I mean, it looks more like kind of rock steel, to be honest. Because like, look at the Kensugimori art for lately. You kind of see it is kind of like chiseled, kind of the ears kind of chiseled. Some of its face, but it looks more like rock steel still. Or at least the Mega looks like it might be steel ice. The mask of it does look a bit more I believe. It is. Battle wise 6. Floor wise 4. Wow, its jaw breaks if it's in Mega Evolution. Yeah, great. Opinion 5. Okay. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. I'm going to stream now. Hours. On that. Okay. Oh. 1 second. Wrote these. Well, psychic processing. I'll say throat to make it easier for you to think of it. I do enjoy these streams, but they do wear me down. Let's do Alchemy Military. We're not doing every single form of it right now, because there's a lot of them. So many of them. Okay, thank goodness. Oh, I can do that kind of fast enough. Right, Milcery. I like it, but it's a 4. It's just floating pudding. Bomb. There's not much to it design-wise. Just a floating blob of milk with eyes. Well, I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, but that's what it is. Battle-wise, 2. I'm not gonna use it. Lore-wise, 6. Opinion, 7. I quite like it. I'm quite harsh with some Pokemon I quite like. But I know the reason why I like them isn't due to their appearance. Or even. Actually, to be fair with Milcery, I think 5. I like food Pokemon. I think being tied to food is kind of interesting, and what that says about the Pokemon world. Right. Alchemy. What's it called? Right, okay, so battle-wise, it's a 4. I'm not using it in battle, Alchemy. I'm just not. Lore-wise, I think it's an 8. I really like how there's that many of them. Stupid. I don't have enough opinion to separate them apart, so I think most of them, to be honest, the opinion on them is 7 as well. I like it, it's kind of fun. Not the novelty in the line, in my opinion, comes from the evolutions. Aesthetically. Alright. The best one. Swirl. That's an 8. Caramel Swirl might be one that, if it was a cake, I prefer to eat, but that's not quite as high. 1 second. Mint Cream I also quite like, so that's the same. That's an 8. The ones that's plain colour probably I'm gonna get. So caramel swirl, ruby swirl are 7. Along with lemon cream. Rainbow swirl and mint cream with it. Lemon, caramel, and ruby are 7. Matcha, vanilla, and salted cream is 5. Just right. Didn't they all do all of the same shiny? I could technically give an opinion on which ones. Some were made better by the decorations, but I went for the strawberry decorations for all of them because so they'd all be the same. Otherwise, I have to judge by different ones because, like, you know, I'd say the salty cream actually looks pretty good with the ribbon sweet, but like I'm just going to judge all the same. So just the colouring. That the shiny is actually I'll do the shiny now. I really like the shiny. I do also like how the eyes change. But the shiny. Yeah, shiny's an 8 as well. Bum 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 bum. I'll hail the military. Recognize it. Yeah. It looks like he's lost its soul. That's a 3. With the big shiny stuff comes at the end. After we've done all the others, we go through every shiny Pokemon there. I've done some already, but they're the ones with like that. Alright, Boom boom boom. Oh yeah, G-Max. That's all the same, right? Aesthetically, I think it loses lots of what's unique about it. I understand they're trying to bring in the once they only do one form for it. There's only one form for it, right? You don't have different cream colour. But I think by adding all the sweets on it feels less. Also between the kind of like yeah, I think already boring. Oh, okay. What the shiny is. Really? So disappointing. 2 layers turn black. Got a bit of decoration on top. And that's boring. The shinies are probably at 5 because just the normal one with a bit of colour. Battle wise, probably a 6. Lore wise, probably 7. Actually, no, lore wise, it's a 6. It's just a bigger cake. There's no special lore. All the things that make it fun or a bit. Opinion on it, probably a 5. Okay. Give me like a category to pick from. I'm trying to get many of them done. You know, like I know I've done some birds, some dogs. That's what. Animals with jobs. Okay. And And also jobs is the 100th chat message. Today. Alright. Have I already done Delibird? Yes, I've done Delibird. I don't want to do starters. I want to do starters all at once. So, animal with a job. I think now. Let's go back to starters. Animal with a job. Animal with a job. Animal with a job. Surnite. I can't remember. Oh no, hang on. Never mind. Surnite is Gardevoir, but French or Japanese? I can't remember. What's Farfetch? I'll do Farfetch first because it's a. Farfetched. Because its evolution has the job. Being a knight. Farfetched. 4. It's just a bird. What a Pokemon. Galarian 5, at least it's got something more to it with the kind of crooked face and the leak a bit bigger. Battle wise 3 and 4. Lore wise, Farfetched. 4. And that comes from the stuff. It is brought into the world a bit well, but basically the trouble is it's set exactly in Pokemon world, but there's nothing else to it. And the Galarian one, same. Surfetched, that's it. Surfetched, it's got a job, it's a knight now. Aesthetically, Surfetched is probably a 6. I quite like how it's got the leak has become on shield. Well, more of a lance, I suppose. Lance sword. Battle 6. Lore wise 7. I think it ties in quite well with Galar and such. Pinion, did I do Pinion for Farfetched? Probably about a 6 for all of them. 6 for all of them. Maybe original Farfetch 5 is fine, but I think the Galarian one's just improvement on it. Some people may say that's blasphemy, but Pokemon with animal with job, animal with job, animal with job. Mine's gone blank on them. I'm excluding starters because the only ones I can think of are starters. Animal with job. Bum bum. Ba-da bum. Bum bum bum. Bum bum ba-da ba-da bum. I think I know Pokemon with like the animals with jobs off the top of my head that aren't starters. I mean, technically it's like a load of Marowak. But that's not really one with the job as such, that's like skirting it. Marowak and Cubone. Cubone aesthetically it's like a 4. The skull does all the heavy lifting. Marowak is the same. Battle wise, 3 and a 5. Actually, Boomerang was always pretty fun. I don't think it's actually good, but ground type, you know, your ground in Gen 1 is pretty useful. Yeah, that pesky rock weakness. And to make it 4 times weak to both grass and water. Lore-wise, 5. And that's for both of them at 5, for both, because that's all because of the Pokemon Tower. Opinion is 5. They were fine. If it wasn't for Hidden Tower, they'd be forgettable. Alolan, however, aesthetic, 7. I think they should have been a Alolan Cubone. Battle, I mean, it's still probably a 5 to be honest. The ghost type's fun, but Lore 6. Opinion 7. Other Pokemon with the job. Cyclizar. Don't count as a job, but it's a bicycle, so it's like it's not what you meant. I just know what you meant. You meant like how some starters it's just that, but there are. It's a cat, but it's a wrestler, for example. Whereas Cyclizar is a bike. Cyclizar aesthetics, it's a 6. I like it, but you know, aesthetic I would say is basically it's just you've mixed a motorbike and a lizard. It looks a bit dopey. Battle 4. You might have either decent ability, but it's just like, eh. I think it's good. I remember. Or is it regenerate its hidden ability? Yeah, I don't think regenerate its standard ability, is it? I can't remember what its normal ability does. I think, you know, you can do stuff with them, but they're just the most fun as the lore. They're an 8 for lore. Lore's where I really like them because they're just everywhere in the world. You know, I kind of wish you could get your own, but I understand why you don't in the game. Opinion-wise, 7. Quite like him. Let's do Koraidon while we're here as well. Koraidon. Is it both forms or? Or are you only counting battle ones? Okay, I mean, you Petulant. Okay, yeah. True. Alright, Miraidon, visually, 10. If it, either that's specifically the battle form, is just 10. It just, I think why I'm so disappointed with a lot of the future Pokemon is you see Miraidon, and it's not just a robot Cyclizar, but there's the colour use, there's the yellow, there's a blue in there. It's not just one type of energy like there is with Iron Thorns and even like Iron Bundle and such, which I'll get around to doing. But it's not just like, oh, they've got pink energy, or it's got yellow energy. No, it's got that. You've got the darker colour of its, at the kind of top of its head. You've got the kind of lightning coming off it. It's just more interesting than a lot of them. Aesthetically, 10. Koraidon is an 8. It's good, but it's just a flamboyant dragon bike, opposed to future Jet Cycle, but looks awesome. I think the difference is Koraidon was a good measure of what past Paradox Pokemon look like, whereas Miraidon meant that you're disappointed by most future Paradox Pokemon afterwards. Battle-wise, Miraidon. Miraidon. Koraidon is a 7. I know it's pretty good. It's an 8 then, okay. Miraidon 9. Miraidon's better. Because no one uses fighting types. Bum. Ba-da-bum. Yeah, you're right, 2610. I was trying to be thinking it's a legendary. Miraidon is just better in battle. That's the thing. I think it's ranked Koraidon lower. Lore-wise, I mean, they're both 9. Let's face it, they're 10. You're both 10. The first Pokemon you see, they're pretty damn cool. And then the fact that you go through an entire story with them. There's no legendary where you get more emotional. Alright, Kubfu works quite well. The problem with Kubfu is you have it, unless you restart the game, or got the game when DLC came out, you don't use Kubfu much beyond going back and doing maybe some post-game stuff you missed, or just the DLC stuff. Whereas Koraidon, you don't get to use it battle until so far into the game, but it's there with you the entire time. Opinion, Koraidon, 7. Miraidon, I give it 20. Doesn't dethrone Garchomp. I'm doing terrible. Yeah, animal with job. I've not done Cosmog yet, but you know I'm not going to forget it because minions aware of my opinions on Cosmog. George, let's do Cosmog now then. Animal with the job. You've got a lion that's the sun, and a bat that's the moon. That's a job. Very important jobs. A traffic warden might not be there one day, which we'll do a traffic warden next. But, like, you know, and there's chill traffic lights. If there's no moon, a bit more problematic. Alright, so Cosmog. When you got that at the end of Pokemon Sun or Moon and you did not name it Nebby, your nickname, you are a monster. It's the point where I'm tempted to name everyone I get Nebby, even though it's not the same one. If you do not name it that, you are a monster. I think Nebby, that's the first nickname I ever gave a Pokemon on purpose. What I used to do sometimes when I was playing Pokemon against friends is I'd sometimes name a Pokemon different Pokemon just to try and think. This is back in when we were at least playing with Gen 1 games when you can't see what Pokemon is next to it. It's just a weird image next to the Pokemon on the battle. So you name it another Pokemon which had the same kind of thingy sprite just to try and mess with them off for trading. Hope they wouldn't check properly. But Nebby was the first time, or sometimes what I'd do is I'd accidentally press nickname and didn't know I could get back out of it. So I had to try and nickname the fully evolved form's name. Just to try and, but what happened quite a lot is I misspell the name. So I ended up with Pokemon. It happened in Gen 3. Like I had Swampert, it was actually called Swampert. I misspelt it. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that being silly. Yeah, anyway, so Nebby. Aesthetically, it's yeah, I know it's the way I'm not giving it a nickname. I don't know if it was then. It probably was, to be honest, but still, it was just trying to name it, and that's how you end it with some things being named like misspelt Pokemon names. Alright, so, I mean, the entire character sheet for Cosmog is just... I know it says avoiding Bulbapedia, but I saw that there. I didn't look at anything else. Oh. Like, Cosmog worked, but if you had Cosmog for that entire game, that'd be one thing. But you don't. You go through its journey, but you don't have it with you the entire time. And also, evolving legendaries. It's like what they were trying to do with Fiona and Manphy, but actually worked. Cosmog design 10. Adorable, but it's still quite clear it's powerful. Or there's some degree of power and mystery in there by being, you know, it's space. Battle 1. Hang on, can it only teleport? Any other move it can learn? Flash. What do you magic up? Magic up can at least learn tackle. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, exactly. I think 0. If we can give it 0, because Magikarp can at least learn tackle eventually, whereas Cosmog will never be useful in battle. Cosmoem, I mean, it's the same case, isn't it? It's also a 0 in battle. Cosmoem, it's in... I think it's a 10 as well. I'm tempted to say 9, but I really like the shape of it. I really like how it looks contained. I really like, you know, how it brings to mind an event horizon. I really like the ball in the centre, but I really like its face as well. Lore-wise, both of them. Am I allowed to say 10? I mean, it's the Legend of its game. Both are 10, yeah. It's unfair to be ranked below the Pokemon because of... Alright, now... Opinion on both Pokemon. I think Cosmoem I don't like as much because it's... You know, Cosmoem's like 15, Cosmog's a 20. Now, I didn't play Sun. Solgaleo, aesthetic, eek. I'd say it's an 8. I don't like its feet. Looks like it's wearing shoes. Looks wearing like Crocs or whatever. Few things which kind of like robotic about it. I like its head. I like its head, and the rest of its body kind of like isn't as good up to the same level of detail as its head, I think. It looks like something wearing like kind of like exosuit apart from its head. Battle though, I mean, what is it? Steel type of it. Yeah, Psychic Steel, yeah, but Psychic. Battle-wise, I mean, it's a 9. It's really good in battle, from what I remember. Like, I've had one, but I did, because the extra one I got, I did end up turning to, I got someone to evolve in Solgaleo. Opinion on it, I'd say, might be a 10. Like, I like it, but I've not got any extras, like, you know what I mean, beyond it being an evolution, it's like I've not got much of a deal with it. Lunala, aesthetic, I'm tempted to give it more than 10. I can't, because of how the system works. Battle, 10. Psychic Ghost, it's incredible. Opinion, 5. It's 25, it's 25. I just think if I've ever done a Pokemon I really like that I've actually raised lower because I wasn't doing 20 beyond 10 on before. Okay. I think maybe Noivern. No, but Noivern 15, 20. Anything else I've missed? Don't. I think come on. Yeah, I'm fine with that, including like the whole shaming thing. Magnezone 15. I don't know what my opinion of it is. I'm maxed out about 13. It's not quite a 15. It's like, I'll tell you what, just give it 10. Just give it 10. One of the things that I like it, but I was, you know, right. Let's stop mess past. Alright, let's do Patrat and Watchdog then. Patrat aesthetic 4. Watchdog 3. Watchdog just doesn't look as good as Patrat. Battle 2 and 4. No, 3 and 5 maybe. I do remember actually, because you didn't use Watchdog in Battle because everything else from Anova's not evolved yet. Lore wise, 3. Wow, who would have thought that the job you choose to give to a meerkat is to watch things? Oh my god, it's incredible. Opinion on 3. Alright, another Pokemon with a job. Indeedy. It's Butler Imps. Aesthetic 6. Battle 4. Lore 5. Opinion 5. Yep. I do appreciate that they with the when they decided to go for sexual dimorphism for the Pokemon, they actually did something that actually looked different. They didn't just go, oh no, this one is just going to have this patch should be in different colour. They actually went, you know, the silhouettes are quite different, but still similar enough. But they're not different enough that I'd rank one lower or higher. The same way that I'm not going to, like, you know, do Garchomp for that notch out the tail. Although, if I had to, I would actually, opinion-wise, rate female Garchomp higher, because typically I end up getting the first Gibble I catch is usually female Gibble. Or does it end up with Garchomp? 20 minutes. Yeah, I'll try and wrap up for the clock. Maybe a bit earlier. That's Pokemon with the job, that side. What Pokemon was I thinking of? Ba-ba-bum. Ba-da-bum. Ba-da-bum. Bum, bum, ba-da-bum. Aww. Everything upside down. Do-do-do. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know what job thing. It keeps slipping from my mind. I have them in my head and in the gun. Oh, Oricorio. Oh, Oricoko. Bom, bada, bada. Alright. I need to bring up battle-wise. I know they've got different niches, but probably all about 5. Because they all have different niches, but they are all a bit gimmicky. in some ways, in that they're not high stats. It's more based around like the songs, isn't it, and the dances. You know. Lore-wise, 7. They tie incredibly into the region. You know, I really like how the flowers in the different areas can get and to change them. So it's not just about catching one on one island. It's about, no, you can get the same one and then change it and have the same one all the way through and change it when you need it. So basically, my opinions have basically come down to the visual. I never really use them because it's Pokédex. You've looked at the screen share. All right. For aesthetically, they're all really good. My favourite. The purple one is an 8. The red one is an 8. And the other 2 are 7s. Okay, I'll do shiny for these as well. The red one's got the best shiny. That shiny might be a 9. And to be fair, so the purple one's got really shiny as well. The shiny's a 9 as well. And the other 2 shinies are like 7s. That's fun. All of them are just colour swaps. All it is changing the trim colour to be the main colour. The yellow one is the only one without that, really. But it still works. But the rest of it works so well. More Pokemon should just have palette swaps of what they already have, rather than making them green, for example. Just like, why don't we actually take this colour on them and flip it around and see how that works? Opinion on them. My opinion is equal to their aesthetic. Because that's what I'm ranking them on. Because I never use them. They're just there for Pokédex. Alright, I've got some Pokemon jobs. Give me a different category, please. Oh. Home Invaders. Nickit Feeble. Nickit and Feeble. Fucking Nickit. Aesthetic. 7. I really. Its tail looks a bit silly, but I really like how it's covered with soot because it cleans up after itself. Because it nicks things and then come up. I like its face, like how smug it is. At the same time, its face is a bit pathetic as well, and that's what you want. From Steve, I like how its front paws look like its gloves. I really like. Battle-wise, it's a 3. I'm not using battle. 3. You know how using battle is early game. Lore-wise, 6, and that's because of like. That's not necessarily in the games, that's because of how they tied in with, you know, the anime did something with them. I've not seen all the Pokemon anime, I've just seen bits and bats here and there. But I actually had them as thieves. My opinion on it, 7. Same with Nickit. Like, Nickit is more a master thief, but more debonair. It's, you know, it's a really example of a bigger version of the same Pokemon. You could go, yeah, evolve from that, that makes sense. You're not surprised, but you're like going like, yep. More of the same, and in a good way. It's not the Palmy situation where it's like going like, why didn't it need to evolve? 2 evolutions would have done it. Aesthetic, it's the same. Battle-wise, 5. Standard. I think I've met. Yeah, it's fine. It's power creep. And I do enjoy using Thief with it, and all the stealing moves. Lore-wise, it's the same. It's 6. There's nothing, you know. That's it. There's nothing that ties the world a bit more. If there would have been a side quest in, you know, in Sword and Shield where like one stole something, you know, maybe like equivalent of the whole birds in the woods. Was it Farfetch'd in the woods in... yeah. Going later. I'm still on the thing of home invaders. Bomb. Okay, home invader. Meowth. So we can do Berserker next, because that's a home invader. Alright, standard Meowth. Aesthetic 5. A Alolan Meowth. Aesthetic 6. Larian 6. Now Galarian one's 8. I think the Alolan one becomes 7. And then there's the G-Max Meow. Which is... if it was actually doing the hunched over thing, I'd like it more, but it's being tall like that, it looks... that's ridiculous. It's just a 4. I understand what they're going for and the whole like that cat being stretched thing, but it's just... is that rooted in a meme, it feels like? I just kind of like... I'm not a big fan of it. That meme of the cat being picked up and it just looks long. Battle-wise, standard Meowth, 3. Why would you use Meowth in combat? Alolan Meowth, 3. Why would you use it in combat? Galarian, 4. Exactly. That's not... that's not a battle choice, though, is it? That's an economic choice. Right. Lore-wise, standard Meowth, 4. It's just Maneki Neko. Alolan. I need to throw myself the lore of that. Was it they were brought there and there's nick things? 4. It's just a cat. It's just a different type of cat. Galarian, 6. Tying into the whole Viking thing, Viking invader thing's kind of fun. If one day we get that Scandinavian region, so we can have more kind of like random Viking Pokemon, which are just rougher and fit. You know? 5 for battle for the and then lore wise 3. It's just a meme. It's made to be a meme. It's made to tie in with the Pokemon anime and be a meme and link into the meme. That's it. Pinion, Meowth, 6. Alolan, 6. Galarian, 7. Max 1. If it was the hunched over one most of the time, it'd be fine, like an arched back cat. No, it's literally just the... if it, I say it's just the meme, which really annoys me. Right, Persian. I hate how it is literally just the name of the thing. Persian aesthetically, it is just a cat with a gem on its head. That's all there is to it. There ain't nothing else to it. So aesthetic is probably, to be honest, I like how it looks. It's a cat, and I like cats. Aesthetically, I think it's actually a 3 because it's just a cat with a gem on its head. Alolan, 2. I don't like how when people try and do like that one there, I'm going to put a minion. I'm not showing that screen. Why is it when they try? Yeah, they get a thinner head. Why are they giving it fuck me eyes? For that Alolan. No, I'd rather it gets head stuck between the fence gates and get stuck in a fence. What the standard one looks at. I look at it, go like, I can't sneak anywhere. It gets head stuck wherever it goes. And it's a cat, so it's too stupid to pull itself back out. Yeah. I just don't like how it looks. Battle 5. That's for 4. 4. Law. Yeah. It's only the connection to anime that makes me go that high with Meowth in general, to be honest. Opinion on them. Persian. What is both of them? 4 for Persian. Because it's just... I like it, but it's just a cat. It's just a big cat. It's a big Persian cat. And then Alolan, 2. I don't like its head. Berserker. Look at that. I like as well. I think the art isn't as good as the game design because of the fact I understand what they're going for with the whole protractable claws cats have, and they go longer. But the fact that it just looks like it's just got silly big claws, I'm going, yeah, I will. Silly big claws kind of on the art doesn't look as good. And you can't see the claws on the other hand, so it looks like it's got one hand with a big claw. Whereas in the game art you see, I wish it had one, so it looked like you were extending. I really like how it looks. Aesthetic 8. Battle 6. I did use one in battle quite a lot in early parts of Galar. Law. What did I give? The name pun doesn't give it much more. Whatever I gave Galarian. As much as there are amazing Pokemon cards of it. That one. Right. There's a Pokemon V, like full art of it from Lost Origin, I believe, where it's like, yeah. And we're looking. It's tracked mod into the house, it's put gold on top of the table and looks so happy with itself. It's my opinion on it is just a it's like it's a cat but more violent, more like looty, and more dumb. So yeah. Berserker. Probably need to wrap up with this next Pokemon. We'll do Mischievous, Mismagius, and Fluttermane. Alright. Okay, so Mischievous. Aesthetic. I think Mischievous is a Pokemon that actually has fared well from actually been developed and looked better as they've redesigned it a touch. It's always been kind of the same, but the redesign in some ways has actually really helped it. Made it look just a bit better. Like, think of how it looks in Pokemon Colosseum and Gen 3 and such in the original art, compared to how it looks when they redesigned it in Sinnoh. It's just minimal redesigns and angles and colours and stuff and some shapes. So good. Like, I still say in 3D it doesn't look that good. 3D, it still looks a bit crap. But the current art of it is so good. Aesthetic, 7. Like, adorable kind of ghost little sister kind of thing. Battle, 3. I'm not going to use it. Law, 6. It's just a good ghost. Opinion, 8. I really like Mischievous. Magius. 8. Aesthetic. Battle, 6. I used to have a good 4 minutes now. Law, same. Is just a ghost. Now it's a witch ghost. Yeah, okay. Opinion, same. And then have Fluttermane. Which yeah, it is basically just mischievous. But it's got red eyes. Look, so much more kind of fun and cruel, which I like how they reversed of the standard. It's got more flowy. I like how it includes kind of the tail in a way of hair, but I gave Mistress 8 and 7. Give it an 8. Battle 10. I've used it so much in battle. It's so good in battle. Lore 7. It is just a prehistoric mischievous that's a fairy. Opinion 15. I think that's gonna have to be it today. Yeah, there'll be more Pokemon quiz next week, hopefully, along with more, Mario Odyssey and such. Let's pause this now. Yeah, there'll be more in general. Mario Odyssey, Challenge Bingo, one or the other. If you got suggestions for streams, put them in the description. And we put them in the chat. My brain's fried. Doing 3 hours of Pokemon naming, 3.5 hours of Pokemon naming. Yeah. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. On Twitch, please follow all that bloody. Leave a comment. If you have any suggestions. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Got opinions you want to argue? Comments. I'll read them and tell you why you're wrong. All right. See you next time. Goodbye. Take care.